What's up? Got a Kizer. Kizer. Yeah, they don't spin, man. So what do we got here? This is a Kizer Zipslip. Almost a 3-inch blade. Michael Vangino, Vagnino, is the designer. It's a KI 3507 S35 blade steel titanium handle. All right. Is this old school? I don't know. Old school or new school? Not sure. Is the Zipslip a new knife or an old knife? I don't know, but I know that can't get this out. There we go. Zipslip. Kizer Zipslip. All right, well, clearly I bought this on the secondary market. Wow, how cool is this? Full titanium scale. I was going to say backspacer, but it's clearly it's a slip joint. I may have bought this on the secondary market, but so far this looks like a brand new knife. It's got a pocket clip. Not a lot of tension there. Let's get that blade out. Oh, it's got a half stop. Wow. All right, let's get rid of all this. I mean, I did more there with this stuff underneath it, but hopefully that kind of illustrates why I get rid of everything, because it's 100% a distraction. Man, is that cool. Very lightweight. Oh, the ergonomics on this thing. So normally I'm not a big choke up fan, but on a slip joint knife like this, maybe, because it's not 100%. It's not a heavy use knife. You know, it's a standard little pocket knife, like something that somebody like me, a grandpa, would have in his pocket. Man, is that awesome! What a neat blade shape as well. All this milling, man, it's soft in the hand, very knocked down knife, really comfortable. And this grip right here for a little, I don't know, whittle a stick on a porch. I know. Do people still whittle? Is whittling something? I mean, since we all have cell phones now, is whittling more like this, or do we still pull this out and you know? I don't know. But wow, cool. Very nice action. Wonderful. What's a steel? And it's S35BN, stone washed, true stone wash, not a satin finish. Like it's legit stone washed. Kizer Zipslip, titanium. Very cool. Well, I mean, heck, it's not exempt. We're going to get in it. That looks like a T10 bit. It is. Well, let's get the correct T8 bit. It's not captured. Gonna have to do a little hold down. I don't mind. Yeah, I'm pulling out the wrong side here. Let's get the other side going. I'm not sure if I'll be able to flip this knife, but I most definitely will try. Bring that pivot back from the other side. So, because I'm going to do that, I'm going to try to take these screws off of this side and lift up on that scale. I think we got to get it out of lock up there. And of course, with a slip joint, there's always like there's tension that you got to contend with. See if we can't get that to come out. There's still quite a bit of tension on that back spring. Oh, there it went. I guess the tension's off of it now. Well, it's not locked in there, so I'll be able to come from the other side when I put it back together for show. There we go. Yeah, so there's our lock, or our spring. It's got, I'm not going to say it's dirty, but it's not going to hurt it for me to wipe it down. It's got a bronze washer and then Teflon washers up against the blade. And I know not everybody's a fan of all that, but this knife runs really well. It's very smooth, very refined. It ran really well. So I just want to wipe it down. There's a lot of oil in here where it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to get that out of there. Let's see if I can get that backspacer out. Because on this one, it truly is a backspacer. A lot of times it's this backspacer is the spring on a slip joint, but it is not on this one. It's actually got this spring insert. But I want to pull this. Yeah, because there's oil underneath there. I'm going to get all that out of there. I'm going to clean that up. Very nice. I love this finish on the titanium on the outside. All that milling, beautiful finish on it. And then let's get all this oil off of the back spacer and the spring and the pivot. And the washers. Obviously, you want to be careful with these Teflon washers. I mean, you just can't pop out to your Ace Hardware and pick these up. And so you don't want to tear them for sure. They're semi-delicate, And then there's definitely a burr on that washer, and I can feel it. There's one on this washer too. So we'll get that off, polish them up, try to get them fairly smooth with the minimum amount of work put into it. I don't want to, I'm not going to spend half a day on this knife, but I'll spend a few minutes on it and definitely get that burr off. And it's on this side right there. It's hung up. But it won't take long on this belt back and forth until that burr is gone. There, it's gone. See, now I can just run back and forth and it'll polish that up. And it'll help that action for sure, it will. This side. Yeah, the burr's only on the one side. There we go. Polished, no burr. This one you can see the burr, so let's show it. See that edge right there? That's got a raised lip on it, and it created a burr, and it's riding on something. Yeah, see, when I put it on the belt, it won't move, so I have to dig my fingernail on both sides of it and get it going back and forth. And once a couple of passes, and this belt will sand that burr down. And once I get it sanded down, like right now, I can, just the pressure of my finger now, I can go back and forth. But I had to get that burr off of there. Not quite there yet. There it is. You can see on the belt here, it's picking up some of that bronze material. It's a really fine belt. I think it's a 6,000 grit. Yeah, shiny as a mirror. And this side, no beer, no burr, no beer. Yeah, no beer. You kids, no beer drinking tonight. There we go. All right. Nice. Get rid of this. And let's do some reassembly about it. So we're going to come up with that pivot now. There we go. And I'm not going to spare the lube. We are going to oil all sides of this action. Blade, the scale, both washers. There we go. Now, one of the other things I could do is I could sand this part of the blade, smooth that up, and I could sand the scale. But I don't know if you can see it, but man, this thing's sliding around like it's on ice. Ooh, is that slick. Yeah, I don't think I need to do any extra sanding on this action. I think it's going to be wonderful. All right, so all that's lubed, all that's good to go. Now I'm going to put this backspacer in, and I'm going to do a little figuring. There we go. About how to get the spring in and tension on it. Where's the least whew. Maybe that right there. What about when it's open? I think that's the spot. It's when the blade's all the way open. Wow. It's going to take some effort. It's got good tension on it, that's for sure. Oh, man. Can't say that I might have to get an assist. How about it? Yeah, I could. Let's try this right here. Interesting. I mean, there's a ton of tension on that right there. And trying to think. I mean, I think that's the route, is to just squeeze that and then push down on it on the same time. Interesting. Wow. Just gotta be patient, man. Because what I don't want to mar it, and I've got an exposed sharp blade there. There, I got it. I gotta push it down. There. Okay. Yeah, no marks. Did good. Now, this should go right on. Notice I said should. Well, I'm gonna put this pivot in with enough threads that I'm confident that it can't pop up out of there. And the reason being, that spring is under such tension that I don't want to run the risk of that popping up like it did when I took it apart. There we go. No worries. Let's get an assist in here. Solid as a rock. Now, is it functioning? I don't know. Let's put another screw in. Make sure we get everything on lockdown here. There we go. How's our action? Very nice. I could put a little oil here. Let's just finish, and then I'm going to check the pivot and see if it's too tight, just right. Do we have any play at any point, open or close? I want to check these two screws. Yeah, that one was a little loose. I'm not going to mess with the clip yet because I may actually take that off and put a little tension on it. So we'll come back to that. All right. There's a little bit of wiggle there. None really there. Pretty solid in that spot. Just the tiniest little bit there. So I am going to try to tighten that just slightly. Yeah, it took a little bit. Let's see now. Yeah. Solid, man. For a slip joint, that thing is locked up. Oh, is it tight? And very functioning action. Can I slow roll that out? I mean, it's pretty close to being one-handed. Like, I don't recommend it because I really had to kind of work at it, but it's pretty close for me being able to say, yeah, that's one-hand action. I am going to put a drop of oil there. Now, I know a couple of you guys use Teflon and maybe graphite. That might have been a good spot for either Teflon or graphite. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to wipe that excess out of there. There's a little bit in there, I see. One more wipe. I don't think that if I loosen this pivot, that action gets any easier. I don't think it does. There. Yeah, if I loosen that, I loosened it about a half a turn there. The action's not any easier to operate. And it's because that spring. There's so much tension on that spring. Now, could I lighten the tension on that spring? I definitely could. Am I gonna? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna leave it tight, just like that. No play. It's a two-hand knife. Yep, that's how I'm gonna leave it right there. We'll come to the pocket clip. Let me talk about this action. So it's slip joint. But for what it is, the action on it, I mean, I'm going to say just the overall feel of this and how tight it locks up right there. No play. I mean, I'm going to say that that's A-level action. Ergonomics. So normally I would try to figure this out. Gripping the knife back here and then not so confident, very confident, but I'm not going to do that to this knife. It's a slip joint. And so this is the natural grip to this knife, and it's wonderful. Yeah, so good. And seems appropriate to me. Definitely was designed to be held this way. And for a slip joint, I'm okay with that. Could you grab here? Yeah, you definitely can. Pinch grip it. You could do all kinds of stuff with it. But this grip right here, little slip joint, yeah, wonderful. Yeah, excellent ergonomics. Very comfortable in hand. Let's run that pocket clip. Need to figure out if I need to put a little tension on it. Thick stuff, yeah. One hand in, one hand out. It's got some tension there, but it's not very good. So my suspicions were correct. I'm going to put a little tension on it. Okay, here's what I found when I took the screws off. So there's no tension for me to put on it. It's as tight as it could be, because that's how you put tension on a pocket clip, is you close this gap. And so I'm not going to be able to do it that way. But one of the things I can do, I may be able to bend this right here. Is that steel or titanium? It's titanium. So I don't know how lucky I'm going to get to do that, but I'm going to try. Oh, yeah. So I definitely was able, you can even see it here. I was able to bend that. Now, once I put this back on the knife, you're not going to be able to see that. Recessed into the scale, I like it. But yeah, look at the amount of bend that I've got here. It's a bunch. And so, I most definitely have to get that back screw in first. I'm not even sure. I may have to get a temporary screw. Yeah, no, I caught it. It caught. And so you can see it's pulling that front down so that front screw doesn't have to clear all that material down. Whew. Yeah, nice. So a slight little tick right here now, but yeah, I've got some tension on that clip. Thick stuff. I mean, it's basically a dryer clip in the thick stuff. And it's not quite a dryer clip here, but it's definitely improved. My spot in the back pocket. Yeah, I dig it. Nice little two-hand slippy. Come on. It's acceptable. If I rolled down a hill, could this knife come out of there? It could. But this wouldn't be backup self-defense. Definitely not primary. It's just a nice little slip joint in the pocket. Um, Safety, yeah, obviously not through the back. The tip is recessed, so the clip's good. The tip is okay, and I'm not catching the sharp part of this knife anywhere. And the detent on the bottom, big time. Yeah, it's really held in there, rock solid. Let's check that S35VN. How sharp is it? It should be crazy, not grazy. Yeah. It feels a little toothy. I'm going to drop it. I think I'm just going to strop it. I'm not going to hit it on the ceramic. Let's just hit it on the strop. Just a couple of passes. That's one. Two passes. Feels awful sticky. Yeah. Come on, man. That's the way. That's how sharp I want my slip joint. All right. So a Kizer Zipslip. Are they available? And if so, what do you got to pay to get one of these? Wonderful little slip joint. Okay, so it is an older model, and back in the day, these went for a little over $200. And you could find them on sale for, I don't know, around 170. And then it looks like they like most old Kaisers and other knives. It looks like the dealers started to close them out, and so I did see a couple of closeout prices that were closer to $100. At the time of shooting this video, there's one of these on the secondary market on eBay, and it's well over over $200 is what they're asking for it. So they've taken the full MSRP from back in the day, and they've added a premium to this titanium S35VN slip joint. Yeah, so you're going to have to find one on the secondary. And for this version, the reason I say this version is because there's a G10 version with a step down steel as well. So they have some budget versions of this piece, a little less money that you can get into the zip slip. And I'm seeing a few of those around here and there. But for this titanium S35 version, I think you're going to pay quite the premium for it. Yeah, pretty cool. And man, am I glad that I found one. I didn't know if I wanted it. I just seen it. I was able to negotiate a good deal for it. And man, am I glad I did. Ooh, is it cool. Very neat. Anyways, appreciate you watching my journey with some of these old school Kaisers.